Hello and welcome back once again to another action-packed Best in Class, the tri-visual series that has won the award for Best Presenter 3 times running. And speaking of presenter, this week we're short one as my dear butler Eddie the Ferret Hodge has snatched the golden opportunity to appear on the Banal Network's The Wonderful Sphere of Wires, one of his all-time favourite shows. Fear not, however, as I've used my considerable Trivid clout to secure a guest this week. Some of you might know him as the star of Comstar's cooking channel. It's Precentor Aldern! But first, let's see what 65-tonners we've lined up for you tonight. The Rifleman 2C. The clan's own variant of the classic Rifleman. This 2C model is obviously heavier and sports more armour. This makes it slow, but it more than compensates for this, something the clans seem to do a lot of, by bringing plenty of large pulse fire to the table. Can the advanced younger brother defeat the elder sibling in the series? The Ebon Jaguar. Built by the Smoke Jaguars just prior to the invasion and before they became a smoking crater in the ground, the Ebon Jaguar, or Cauldronborn, is a multifaceted death dealer. Its numerous Omni configurations make it quite versatile, and the low profile allows it to use the terrain to its advantage before engaging targets. Since it was built to replace the Hellbringer, this will be interesting to see which one of the two comes out on top tonight. The Hellbringer. In short, it's just a knockoff of the Warhammer, but imitation isn't a bad thing here, as the Hellbringer is a very flexible combat unit and a popular choice for many clan pilots up north. Sacrificing armour for sheer firepower, the Hellbringer, or Loki as it's better known here, will risk high heat to literally melt targets rather than take the hits it has trouble absorbing. The Thunderbolt. One of the all-time top battle mechs of the Inner Sphere, the stoic Thunderbolt has done it all over the centuries and keeps on delivering as one of the best heavy designs ever to come out of the Successors dates. The unusual off-center cockpit placement can be a tad awkward for pilots to get used to at first. I never had these issues, I was so naturally talented, but after adjustment, the mech's generous firepower and thick armour can allow you to stand toe-to-toe with anyone on the field, even top-end assaults. The Linebacker. Developed to replace the Timberwolf by being somehow 10 tons lighter and having less firepower, many were scratching their heads as to how this was supposed to work. The Linebacker, despite this, was a success as a second-line Omnimech, with its speed making it an effective strike unit and scout for heavier stars. The squat profile ensured some fire would miss the mech as it sprinted across the battlefield, much like Rocket when the producers catch him trying to steal food from catering. The Jägermech. The Rifleman's brother in arms and originally its supposed successor. The Jägermech might not have achieved its goal in this regard, but it has become a firm favourite of many a Davian pilot due to its emphasis on ballistics. Despite being 5 tons heavier than the Rifleman, it's still quite fragile, like Eddie, and thus requires support from friendlies to allow it to perform its duties, much like Eddie. The Catapult. Finally, the Catapult is here, another fire support unit that has seen many a battlefield over the centuries. A distinct profile makes it a priority target for most enemy lancers, so as to prevent themselves from being constantly showered in missile fire. Even then, the standard catapult's armed with 4 medium lasers to deter any would-be aggressor who charges up to this big-eared battle mech. And with that out of the way, let's get straight to the drag race. And here we are with the drag race, and once again, welcome aboard, Precentor Aldern.
It's an absolute honour to be here, Mr. McCracken. Absolute honour. Well, I am a huge fan, of course, of both of yourself.
I'm flattered. I'm sure if Eddie was here, he'd agree. It's great to have you here. Your correspondence back and forth. I'm just glad we could finally get you into the studio. And here we are for the drag race, which it's already nearing its finish. Just the Linebacker takes first place. The Hellbringer coming up there second, quickly followed by the Ebon Jaguar.
Right.
And there's the Catapult in fourth, followed by the Catapult, the Jägermech, the Thunderbolt, neck and neck, and the Rifleman 2C coming in dead last.
Well, I'd have hoped better from the Catapult, obviously. I'm sure that you and a few listeners are aware that one of my ancestors piloted one, so...
Well, yes, we are aware of that, Aldern. We've seen many of your try photographs of your family's much vaunted catapult. With its Comstar markings and the such, it's a prized possession, I'm sure.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Yes.
Well, since Eddie isn't here this time, I guess it's down to me to introduce our tamed Sympod pilot.
Well, might I do it, since I do know the gentleman?
Well, you are the guest, so take it away.
Oh, thank you very much. That's most kind. Some people say he's afraid of girls, and that his mother dresses him funny, that he stinks of what can only be described as 12-year-old dead rat, and that his feet are very large and hairy, as are his hands, that he scares small children when they see his face when he dons to remove his terrifying mask. That he is quite possibly the least intelligent person I've ever met in my life. That he is an absolute disgrace, a moron, a complete and utter bloody disaster.
And here we go with our first round, the Rifleman 2C.
Yes, this is a clan mech, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's actually built on the original Rifleman, and the Exodus fleet were pottering around there in the north, and they realised that they needed to use the old mechs and try to improve them.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm sure these clanners, techs and all that meant well, but it seems to me they buggered the whole thing right up.
Wow, what do you mean exactly there?
Well, the Rifleman uses ACs, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, a pair of AC5s, a pair of large lasers, and a pair of medium lasers, whereas this Rifleman 2C1 is equipped with 4 large pulse and a single ER small.
And as we saw from the race, it moves at the speed of Glacier.
It is woefully slow, this is indeed true. The Rifleman 2C is actually 5 tons heavier than the standard Rifleman, which is why the two didn't see each other in this series of Best in Class. As if you remember correctly, the Rifleman was in the previous episode.
Yes, that's right, I remember.
Well, you being a fan, I'm sure you've already watched all the episodes.
I certainly have.
For this season.
It may be that 1 or 2 haven't come out yet on the Trivids.
Well,
because you're producing them, and then there may be a slight delay before.
No, they go out the same week. We make sure that so all the information is exact, as this is the most scientific mech testing program in the inner sphere.
Oh yes. Well, Mr. McCracken, of course. You're famed throughout. I mean, you were already famous as a mech pilot in Solaris 7.
Yes, back in my younger days when I had more hair. Yes. A little less weight on me, but yes, I don't like to brag about my time in the Solaris arena, just like I'm sure you don't like to brag about your time as being a 2-time winner of Precentor of the Year.
Well, I obviously wouldn't like to brag about it, but it's true, I have recently been a 2nd-time recipient of the Presenter of the Year award. It's awarded yearly on a year-by basis,
so I've heard. And there was some unfortunate controversy which has led to some kind of disagreement.
No. I think this will all be cleared up and everything will be fine, don't you know?
And you blame Rocket, our Sympod pilot, for all of this happening.
I have reason to believe that Critical Rocket and some of his so-called chums may have been responsible, but I think that no one's going to believe any word that those simpletons and
my interactions with Rocket
chimps have to say.
Yeah, he's not the brightest person.
He's not the brightest. He's not the sharpest tool in the box. This is absolutely true. And no, I think I will be remaining your remaining defending Presenter of the Year, Aldern.
Yes, it's Arnold.
Aldern.
Aldern. Arnold Judas Aldern.
Yes, the Judas is I'm named after my great uncle.
Oh, he's dead.
He was a bastard.
Rocket's died.
Hey!
And the Boffins have helped us with a quick edit there to the failure. He lost this match. As we get to the scores there for the Rifleman 2C, 276 damage, 173 match score, no kills, not a win. A mere 15 points.
That was bloody awful, Rocket. So what's this one? Ebon Jaguar?
Yes, this is the Ebon Jag. Yes, this is a mech that is, quite closely related to the Smoke Jaguars, as it was developed in time for their invasion of the Inner Sphere.
Ah, yes, the Smoky Jaguars. Yes, I've heard about them.
Yes, they were a thorn in the side of the Combine for many years during the invasion, and yes, this is probably one of the designs that many mech warriors would associate with that former clan before it was destroyed.
Yes, well, until, our glorious forces of Comstar defeated them, much to the shock of the Inner Sphere, obviously.
I have to admit, I didn't see it coming.
Everyone had been kept quiet about the fact that we indeed, in fact, had probably the largest army humanity had seen since the fall of the Star League.
Well, yes, it was an impressive feat, led by one Anastasius. Sorry, there's always a bit of a trouble with that name.
Yes, well, okay.
But yes, it was a grand achievement of the Battle of Tukid. But obviously, the Ebon Jaguar here, or Cauldronborn, as it's known in the Inner Sphere, named after the Irish zombies of myth.
Welsh.
Welsh?
Yes.
Oh, they're Welsh zombies.
Yeah, Welsh zombies.
Ah, right. You know your mythology then, there, Aldern.
Well, I'm unusual in the respect that I was actually born on Earth.
Yes, this is true.
Yes. One of the few people out in the universe who can actually say they were born on the home world.
Yes, it's not much to write home about these days, is it? Large amount of overcrowding, the damage from previous wars, ravaged environmental conditions, not many...
We've had 300 years to repair most of that. No, actually, it's quite pretty.
Is it?
Yes.
I've never really thought about going there. Mainly because there's lots of checks and balances out of me, and it's difficult to get through a lot of Comstar's rigorous check procedures.
Well, it's an important spot. It's the cradle of humanity, so we can't just let any old riffraff in, but I'm sure I can pull a few...
well, that'd be much appreciated.
Oh, you? Obviously, I can make that happen.
I'd love to be able to film a few parts of the series there, especially when we go on our own treks with myself and Eddie and some of the other boffins as we test out some other designs. It'd be great to take it to parts of Earth.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm sure we could get you to visit a few strategically important locations. Obviously, with certain restrictions.
Oh, well, I'd be very, very generous of you there, Alden. But how do you think Rocket's doing so far in a mech that was designed itself to take Earth?
Middling.
Middling, you say? Yeah,
Middling, I think.
He's using it as it was intended. It's more, this build of the Ebon Jaguar is meant to be more of a fire support unit, taking enemies at range of its Gauss rifle and LB5 and LRM-10, and when things do get close up and personal, you switch over to the ER Medium and SRM-2.
You sure he's not just staying at the back because he's a bit of a coward and he's wet himself?
Well, I'm not sure about the wetting himself, but cowardice is definitely part of the problem with him, yes. There was one time where...
Well, I've always smelt something funny when I'm near his pod, so I wouldn't be surprised. Although usually it's just BO and 2-day-old, slightly rotting pizza.
Well, we do pay him in pizza, amongst other things.
Amongst other things, yes, I'm sure.
Well, it's, I'm not really certain if I like the Ebon Jaguar. I think visually it's a very nice design aesthetically, but I'm not too sure about the weapon systems. Maybe it's not represented very well here in the sim. Maybe out in the field it was much more deadly. But what about yourself, On? What do you think of the Ebon Jaguar?
I've no idea, to be entirely honest. I mean,
right.
It's not one of the mechs I'm aware of. We do obviously get certain updates so that we can use these mechs in the simulators so that our pilots in the future have valuable intel on how they function.
And they gather the sim data from
real battlefields. And of course, the captured mechs that our engineers...
Is there any chance me and Eddie might be able to get a look at some of those close up? Be brilliant for his Belly of the Beast series.
Ah, well, yes, I'd have to look into that. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, obviously, I am a Precentor, and that's a very powerful position. But well, obviously, even that has its limitations, especially outside of my own particular area of the section in which I work, of course.
Well, what is it that you primarily do, just for the viewers at home, so they get more of a feel for what it is?
I'm part of a sub-department of, not exactly intelligence, but a certain part of the military.
Not with rocket involved. Oh, sorry,
well,
go on.
Obviously, the simulators are a vital piece of intel for us. They allow some of our pilots to train going up against the clan machines before they ever went into battle with them, which is one of the reasons that we were so successful at Tukiad, and the reason we were able to make certain modifications to some of our builds to be our clan busters.
Oh yes, the clan busters. I've had the privilege once to actually have a bit of a stomp around in a Black Knight clan buster. It was rather fun. I liked the hatchet on the old deer.
Ah, yes. Well, look, we modified a number of mechs, and some of that information came from these simulated battles.
Was Rocket involved in those, or any of his chums?
There are several other simulator pilots,
right.
I wouldn't want to...
So what I'm just getting at is like the metrics weren't, lives weren't lost due to their ineptitude when it came down to it.
No, I would hope not, or else...
Oh, Rocket's won it!
Oh, hurrah.
The Ebon Jaguar, 211 damage, 189 match score, no kills but a win. Only 5 more points than the Rifleman 2C though. Well, as we roll on to a real, genuine classic of the Succession Wars, and prior to that, in fact, the Thunderbolt.
Yes, I know a little bit about this one because I watched one of Eddie the Ferret Hodges in the belly of the beast.
Well,
and he was going through the aged Thunderbolt. He said it's very old and well-respected heavy mech of the inner sphere.
Yes, it is. It is exactly that. It's built way back in the 2400s. The Thunderbolt is a mainstay of many mercenary units, periphery state, and Great House military. It's seen all, done all, and is still around to this day, kicking ass across the inner sphere, whether it be clan, pirates, or other Great House military. It really doesn't matter. The Thunderbolt is hands down one of the most reliable, well-equipped, and popular heavy mechs ever designed.
Yes, we use a number of them as well, an older Star League design.
Oh, yes.
But the Thunderbolt was there on Tukiad, fighting alongside our brave boys and girls.
Others, yes, alongside many other designs that were out there.
Yes, it's certainly a good design, a very good design. Not as good as the superior design that is the... but we'll get to that later.
I know what you're hinting at there. I really don't know how well Rocket will perform in the catapult, to be honest.
Oh, well, yes. Badly, probably. Quite badly.
Yeah, he has a very middling career, to be honest.
If he'd had a chance. But,
sorry?
Yes, the Thunderbolt. Yes, the Thunderbolt.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Excellent design.
Yes, I have 2 of these, actually. One of them is actually a salvage operation. I managed to get that. One of the Boffin's pets is loose again.
Yes, minor problem. Please continue.
No, it's still around. Boffins, can you sort out the animal that's moving around there? You're interrupting my good guest, Aldern, as we're trying to do the show. There we go. He will be fired. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll have him tortured.
Is it that's a thing?
No.
Oh.
I mean, legally, no.
Legally, no. Okay. The Boffin appears to have just locked it in another room, so that seems to have solved the problem for now. No, where was I? What was I talking about now?
The 2 mechs you have.
Yes, that's right.
One was a salvage.
Yes, salvage from the Blue Star Irregulars.
The Blue Star Irregulars?
Yes, so I made a deal with them. I said I'd be very respectful of the machine, because it was virtually scrapped at that point. They were just going to sell it. I thought I'd take it off their hands. And I kept it in their livery. It's not going to be piloted. It's just there for show purposes. Meticulously rebuilt and put together to look like it did before the unfortunate fate that it occurred. It's one of my prized possessions.
Blue Star Regulars, they're mercenaries?
Yes, some of the best. They have a link all the way back to the Star League Defense Force.
Ah, I see.
That's with the Blue Star medal that used to be handed out. I'm sure you have some knowledge of that, with Comstar having its kind of roots there.
Yes. Connected to the reconquest of Terra.
Yes, during the Amaris civil conflict, yes. The Blue Stars...
liberation of Terra, should I actually say.
The liberation with Stefan the Usurper.
Yes.
For all those history buffs out there. The Blue Stars were one of the few mercenary commands that actually chose to remain. Well, back then they weren't mercenaries, they were part of the SLDF, but they became mercenaries after the decision because they felt they had an honour and a duty to uphold to the people of the Inner Sphere.
Yes, but unfortunately these days we occasionally hear people in places like Steiner that they believe that some of the stories were somewhat exaggerated and that the number of mechs that were involved in the war was exaggerated. Absolute twaddle.
Yes, well, as Steiners are ones to usually inflate or reduce numbers where it fits best for their narrative, of course.
Yes, of course.
But, honestly, I mean, where the clans claim to be the descendants of the Star League, honestly, I have more respect for those who chose to remain here and not run away from all of the fighting that was going to break out with the success.
Like the cowards that they were.
Yes, my opinion is that Kerensky, although he was a great man at the time of the war, was a complete coward, and he left everybody. He left millions of people in a tragic situation. Yes, well, billions, yes, in a tragic situation where they ended up in a more horrific wars. He could have prevented them, but he chose not to.
Yes. Blake himself obviously could have travelled with him if he'd wanted to, but he wanted to stay back and protect the Inner Sphere and humanity's place in the stars.
Yes, and remember, you should always tip your local Comstar representative. Yeah, because they're doing good work, and they're making sure that everything runs smoothly for you and yours at home.
Communications are a vital part of the universe's pulse, really, and it's these communication systems, the hyperpulse communication systems, that allow everyone to stay in touch and operate properly, not just down to your militaries, but your communications with family and friends, and obviously merchants bringing in the necessary supplies to keep your world safe.
There you go.
Comstar, we're here for you.
Yes, and well, we're getting to the end here of the Thunderbolt. That's like the last enemy.
It's still standing, it's still fighting, it's had a kill, it's not doing bad.
It got that supernova earlier.
It's piloted by Critical Rocket, but yes, not bad.
I'm surprised, considering some of the things that you said.
It's the mech.
You said publicly about Rocket. I'm surprised.
It's the mech.
So you don't owe anything to Rocket's West. Well, he ended the round with 287, 244 match score, 1 kill, and a win. 30 points. A respectable effort, I will say, for the chimp. And next we get over to the Hellbringer.
Now, I've seen one of these marching around at Sandhurst Military Academy.
Oh, really? Do tell.
Well, it seems that they brought one back almost entirely intact. From the Battle of Tukiad. Seems the pilot had been killed by a stray shot, and the mech, barring some heavy damage to its armour, was mostly fully operational.
Oh, that's fantastic. And yes, did you get a chance to have a look inside, maybe pilot it a bit?
Sadly not, no. I was there for a briefing on some of the clan mechs, but that they were starting to introduce certain new designs, and there was some rumours of some interfactional trouble going on between those in the Inner Sphere and their homeworlds.
Oh, right. Well, yes, there's been a rapidly developing political situation there. But that's just clan business. We're here for best in class.
Yes.
Now, the Hellbringer, for me personally, is a knockoff of the venerable Warhammer. It's very, very similar in its loadout, with its PPCs, medium lasers, machine guns, and Streak SRM-6.
I see.
Remarkably close to the classic Warhammer. Though 5 tons lighter, it does carry the same amount of firepower and arguably does more damage. Yes, this may be true. However, the Warhammer is the Warhammer. The Warhammer is the best. As we all know, as I did front that advertising campaign for new Warhammer sales a few years back, and that was the slogan. It was simple, straightforward, and I think it got the point across because sales of the Warhammer jumped 1,000%.
Oh, I remember the song, Warhammer, 1, 2, 3.
That's the one, yes. Yeah, we had that collaboration with the delightful chap. He was in the wheelchair. What was it? Davros Dalek, that was his name. Oh, you two have crossed paths in the past, then?
Yes, he's one of critical rockets, little chimps.
Well, it really is a small inner sphere, isn't it?
It certainly is, him and the rest of the Decrepticons. And,
I like that name, that's a good one. So, you and Davros never seen eye to eye, I suppose?
no, because I'm usually standing up.
It's an easy one. It's a simple. I like it, Aldern. I like it. But yes, he's just as annoying as Rocket.
I'm allowed to make those jokes. I have a robotic big toe.
That's true. You were injured in the line of duty, I believe.
I was, yes.
Yes, I read all about the shooting incident that did occur on your facility out in. Not out in the periphery, sort of on the fringes, isn't it?
We're not allowed to mention.
No, you're not allowed to say exactly what. I know where it is because I'm privy to certain information. But yes, it's a highly classified facility, of course. And
well, there's other operations that go on
yes,
there. The stuff we do in Sector G is just one of them.
yeah, so you've been through numerous sectors, L, G, K,
We get
and
moved
F.
around occasionally, but as certain departments require additional room, or our department needed to be expanded, these days it's been shrunk
Reduced.
down somewhat. There used to be between 12 and 24 of us, and now it's been shrunk down more to a kind of between 8 and 16.
It's almost like there's a lack of consistency with keeping to certain naming
Yes,
conventions.
it started off between the 8 and 16, and then we
went
sort
up,
of went
yeah.
up a little as the requirement was needed for further intel, but it somewhat shrunk again.
Yes, yeah, well, it's
To
understandable.
be honest, they put very little time or effort into our department these days.
Well, with the Bactrian plague going on, I'm not surprised that there is a shortage in number of people available.
Yes. Well, there is that, but that's mainly going on around Dathia.
Everywhere, really.
It has spread a little.
No, it's everywhere.
It's not going to affect me. I've got plenty of disinfectants.
Ah, yes.
Just,
Have you been injecting that?
I haven't yet, but I was thinking of it. I heard from a very good source that would...
Oh, Rocket's dead.
Yay! I mean, oh dear.
Well, as we go over there to the end, as we have the, let's see the points there, the Hellbringer's 257 damage, 231 match score, a kill and a win. It's the same score as the Thunderbolt.
Oh, wow.
So I have to see how it goes next as we jump over to the Jägermech. Yes, and this is on one of the slower maps, I have to admit, in the simulator. It's very big, it's very white, it's Polar Highlands. On domination, and the Jägermech is one of those supposed successors to the Rifleman, though I don't think it ever really lived up to it, and partially through, as we learnt, decades, centuries even later, that there was a bit of a campaign of corporate espionage to sully the name of the Jägermech, and many people had a very negative opinion of it.
Yes. Is this not one of the mechs that your colleague Eddie the Ferret Hodge would have supported?
Oh, definitely. Eddie's the type to purposely pick the underdog or the maligned machine. I'm more of the one who picks the type that's the cutting edge, the head of the pack, really. As I mean, my choice personally was for winner of this particular episode was unfortunately the Rifleman 2C, but due to Rocket's complete ineptitude, he ruined that one for me. So. Yes, obviously we know your choice.
It's the catapult, but we'll get to that later, I'm
yes,
sure.
a fine machine, I have to admit. The catapult is a good workhorse of the front lines, and obviously for you it's your ancestral mech. So that's coming up last in the sim pods here. We've got the Jägermech, then the linebacker. So we'll see how it does. Personally though, Aldern, I've got to say,
yes.
I don't really know how the catapult's going to stack up. There's some good firepower here, and we've had some pretty decent rounds for the series so far.
Oh, I know. I'm sure the catapult will do fine. I'm sure it will show it to everyone that it is one of the greatest mechs.
Well, even with rocket piloting.
Oh,
I mean, I know that you've had your issues with him in the past. I've had my issues with him in the past. He's spread around. They continue to spread the rumor about
all I can say is that I have no problems with Critical Rocket where this footage is concerned.
Oh, right, okay. It's good to see that you're taking the high ground here. You're not bringing the personal drama of the workplace here to a professional studio environment.
No, obviously. I'm being the professional that I am alongside someone of your stature and quality, obviously. And I am a professional. I've risen to the rank of Precentor. I have once again received the great and noble title of Precentor of the Year.
As we mentioned,
on a year-by-year basis.
As we mentioned earlier, there was also the controversy, but there has been... I was originally informed upon your arrival that you were to be referred to as Demi-Presenter, but I've been a friend of yours for a long time, and I just refuse to accept.
No, I don't know where you got that from.
Well, it's communique.
That sounds like some kind of future disaster that I have yet to suffer. At the moment, at time of this recording, I am still the Presenter of the Year, which is awarded yearly on a year-by-year basis. I don't know how you could have made that mistake. The fact that you don't know what to say now, whilst you giggle because you've fucked it up, is neither here nor there for me.
I wasn't aware that was supposed to be a time jump.
No. I am the Presenter of the Year, recently awarded, as we said earlier. And at the time of this recording, as I said, these shows sometimes take a while before they come out. You know, all the background stuff being done, an entire series being created. But that's fine. You've shat the bed, and we'll just continue with it. So the Jaeger mech, everybody. The Jaeger mech. No. I'll keep talking, everybody. Jaeger mech, yes. Excellent mech. Obviously relies on its ACs, but that's fine. The House Davian love their ACs, don't they? Their auto cannons. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, he's completely lost it now. They love their ACs, don't they? And it has a pair of medium lasers to back it up if it's required. This really isn't my job. You understand that, don't you? You need to stop this now. You need to get back under control. It's pathetic.
I'm trying.
He's trying, everybody. He's trying my patience at the moment, as much as I'm a huge fan of his.
Thank you very much. And but obviously, I'm a big fan of yours as well, Alden.
Thank you very much.
Especially of your cooking program.
Yes, Cooking with Aldern.
Yes, it's how many seasons has that had?
Well, we've had 3. There was a bit of a gap between seasons 2 and 3, but now that I've recovered my position recently as Presenter of the Year, I'm able to restart my most excellent show.
Yes, I saw your recent episode that was how to make cherry pie without cherries. That was a particularly interesting episode. I thought there was a lot of creative use of spare ingredients around the home.
Yes, it's a recipe first, taught to me by my mother. And she would often say, "Oh, there you are, Judas." For some reason, they called me by my middle name. It was taken from my uncle, you see, great-uncle Judas.
Uncle Judas, right.
Well, they wanted to keep that part of the family happy, and they thought that if they named me after great-uncle Judas, there would be no more threats of violence. So, anyway, Judas, she would say, "I'm going to make for you this lovely, lovely pie. But unfortunately, we are missing one of the key ingredients."
Right.
So she would just put in whatever was lying around, you know.
Right. So, I haven't tried the recipe myself.
Well, you really must.
But Arnaud...
it's quite delightful.
Arnaud Desjouet, who was your guest on the show at the time.
Yes!
Has he recovered from the...
it was all a little overblown. He was a little ill.
He looked like he was going overboard when he was eating it.
He's fine, I assure you.
His face changed colour. He looked like he was trying to force himself to be sick. Oh, to be honest, well, that round ended with the Jaeger mech.
I think that's probably a good thing.
The 318 damage, 277 match score, a kill and a win, 35 points. It's the highest score so far.
Wow.
The Jaeger mech is in first.
Well, Eddie will be very happy.
Yes, Eddie will be very happy. Eddie's currently doing a guest spot on an interview series talking about wiring and why it's so important.
Yes, well, he loves that kind of thing, doesn't he?
Yes, him and 5 other people. in the entire Inosphere. But here we are with the linebacker. Now, this is a little bit of an oddity for me personally. Now, I don't know how much you know about the linebacker.
Very little, really. This is supposed to be a replacement for one of their older designs.
Yes, the linebacker was built with the intention of replacing a mech that anyone in the Inosphere will admit to has encountered one, the Timberwolf, or the Mad Cat, as it's known in these neck of the woods. And for some reason they thought that making a mech that was 10 tons lighter, but ever so slightly quicker, with less weaponry and less armor, was somehow going to be the forward-thinking way of making an improvement on such a venerable design. However, the linebacker, surprising nobody, failed to live up to the intended design goal. And as such, the Mad Cat is still very much in use by all of the clans in their little townmans.
Well, it was very quick earlier in the whole drag race.
Well, it did win. Now, in the case of speed, yes, it did achieve that goal. It is faster than the mech it is intended to replace. But I will guarantee now that although Rocket hasn't yet piloted it, I do believe that the Timberwolf will get a higher score than the linebacker in this match.
I see. So we're looking to the future, and we think that you'll have to keep note of the score.
Well, yes, I do have a little notepad here that's got all of them, all
electronic.
Yes,
I see.
It's very nice. It's the latest model. It's got the new screensaver there. That's look, it's my face, and then it switches over to Eddie's.
That's very good.
And then I've updated it. It's got your face, so it switches all three.
There I am.
Yes, there you go. So I got your best side, I think.
Yes, I do look excellent there. I do look most excellent.
Yes, and if you watch this, if I change this setting and the cursor, it's your robotic toe. Isn't that amazing?
Wiggles a little.
Yes, when you press.
That's great.
Yes.
What happens if you press it? That's well, she's very endowed.
It's research.
Right,
research,
of course.
For another series.
Yes, I haven't seen the new orange, and it's this is the latest one, is it?
Yes.
They're a little expensive, aren't they? These orange pads?
They can cost roughly the equivalent of about 5 seasons worth of Eddie's pay. When you get one, though, it's worth it. It's a life-changing piece of equipment. Without it, I don't think the show could really be made.
Oh, right. Eddie's pay.
Yes, there was a little bit of an issue, and there's some small amount owed to Eddie.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay.
And I don't think Eddie really needs to worry about being paid, personally.
Well, he's got a lot of other things.
He's got a lot of side projects.
He's got a lot of side projects.
I'm glad you can see it from my perspective.
Yes, well, of course.
I helped
I understand entirely.
If it wasn't for Series 1 of this show, way back when, over 20 years ago, no one would know who Eddie the Ferret Hodge is. I'm taking this opportunity now to explain to you, the audience, and him.
You don't need to explain to me. I'm in a very similar situation. I garnish at least 50% of the pay of those who work in my department.
Well, I think that's only fair.
I have to put up with everything. I have to do the paperwork.
Paperwork?
Well, you know.
It's very old school.
That's just what they call it.
Oh, right. I thought...
I press a few buttons, I have to tick a few boxes, that kind of thing.
You don't get a holiday to do that.
Holiday? Oh, him.
Yes.
Oh, they shoved him off somewhere else when they found out he'd been misappropriating funds for his party buses.
Well,
Varak is lucky to still have a job. He was driving at least 2 of them.
Varak, he was the large, hairy, moose-like person who was driving the party bus. I have to admit, I've been on a couple of holidays party buses in the past.
Yes, every day's a sunny day with Dipstick. Yes, well, he's been demoted as well. God knows where he's been sent to. Good riddance is what I say. Plus, he sounded like some kind of absolutely pathetic caricature.
Wow, don't...
Oh, this one's done!
The linebacker has finished.
Forgettable mech, obviously.
Boffins are bringing up the score. It was a very fast-paced
Be quick,
match.
the good stuff's about to start.
Ah, right, well, 356 damage, 341 match score, no kills, a win, 35, it's neck and neck. First place.
Right, here we are.
There we go, the last
Yes,
neck.
hopefully she'll
she'll
pull it out for
hold
us.
On a second,
Hasn't started yet, give it a chance. So,
I was just looking
catapult.
at the scoreboard.
Don't we want to talk about the history of the catapult?
I need to...
Yeah, so they're fighting in Canyon, is it?
That's not
canyon?
Rocket's name. I can't see his name in the Precentor Aldern?
What? Yes, I'm here.
No, on the screen.
Yes.
This is your account. This isn't the footage I previewed earlier.
No. This was what you mean? Previewed earlier.
Well, it's all sent from the SimPods,
come
and we
on,
review the footage, so we know any particular talking points.
You didn't think I was going to let Rocket pilot my...
Well, he did.
ancestral mech.
I'm sure I can bring it up somewhere.
No, this is the
I need to
simulation
go check
of
this with the boffins for a minute.
Well,
If you don't mind holding down the fort, so
yes,
to speak.
you go past.
Okay,
Yes. Off you go. Right, well, yes, so here we are in Canyon. This is a lovely design. This is the a Rara F variant. Still in its beautiful colours. Unfortunately, you can't see them here. But, he's already striking a blow there. Yes, I mean, I'm striking a blow. Obviously, this was me in the SimPods. I decided I must pilot this myself. Is this thing on? Hello? Yes, of course it is. Striking a blow. Look at that. They're streaking off as they do. Oh, he must be really having a tough... I don't know what's going on over there. This is, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know what that one is. Getting in the way a little. It's a big bugger, isn't it? And here we are. We're striking at range, you see. So this is the great thing about a mech like this. The great thing about a mech like this is that there's a conversation going in the background. Don't bother paying attention to that. Is it can strike at distance. These LRMs just streak across. This was a beautiful mech. It's a gorgeous design. Obviously, the clans ripped it off for their mad cats, but it stalks across the battlefield, this thing. Now, it has a number of medium lasers as backup, enough to scare off most small mechs for a start, and still be able to be a threat to a number of medium mechs. But this, I feel here, I am just handling this so well. Look at that! Did you see all 4 of the medium lasers fire? I think this is just showing off how great this mech is. I can stay back. I'm taking very little fire so far, and yet I'm dishing out death. Death at a distance. It's like my hand reaches out, and there is nothing for them. Nothing for them. Ha ha ha! Look at it. Look at it. So majestic. The jump jet's giving that extra battlefield maneuverability. Oh, he's returned. Please take your spot. Just explaining how majestic this. Well, I just thought, I would take the reins, so to speak. But
well, that's definitely what's happened here, isn't it? You've most definitely taken the reins.
What?
And from what I've been told, the original footage has vanished from the servers.
That was original footage, you say?
I said yes. Rocket recorded it.
Did he now?
Having to be in his presence any longer than necessary, I had to sit there and watch.
Well, this is
clearly
good.
your footage, Aldern. Someone has given you access.
Well, I can use the simulator pods. I can get the codes to access them.
But we're not on your facility, Aldern. This is a closed set. This is supposed to be where they've recorded
Yes, I understand.
I understand.
But one of the boffins understood my position.
Which one?
Oh, I don't remember names. That's beneath me. Anyway, so he's smiling a lot again. And yes, I just thought, if anyone was going to pilot this, of all mechs, the catapult, the mech of my ancestor, she was a great pilot. A great pilot. Now, yes. I may not be, obviously, up to her standard, but I do my best here. I think you'll find.
Right, so... yes.
But I'm not... I think it's fair. Critical Rocket isn't an actual mech pilot. He's just one of these simulator
But neither are yourself.
Exactly. So it's a perfectly fair match. Well, it's perfectly fair.
Well, we have no other footage to use, so this is what we'll have to use.
I was doing the best I could against, obviously, the AI is a little weird and sometimes types in some ludicrously filthy stuff.
That's the boffins.
That's the boffins have programmed it, as you say. And did you notice, in my cockpit, I have a little...
You have a little catapult.
A little catapult inside the catapult. It's not far away, it's just small, because it's inside...
Well, from Well,
I just love that.
So, from what I've seen,
I'm doing rather well.
So far, yes, you are doing remarkably well.
Yes.
It's almost as if you may have tweaked the difficulty in some respect as
How
well.
can you tweak a difficulty like this?
Well,
This is
AI
accurate on the field combat simulator.
The simulators.
It's an older Starling model, and yes, sometimes it has problems with some of the newer mechs. But as you can see, this is the true environment.
The simulators have a tier system of difficulty. Rocket's difficulty is top, tier 1.
Is it? Really? Is that a joke?
No, that's how hard that we purposely put him on the hardest setting. So
no wonder he's terrible.
And this seems to be tier 4. From what I can tell, which is just
out of how many tiers?
5.
So, well, there you go then.
Well,
there you go. I don't even do this thing, and here I am going up against tier 4 AI opponents, and I am bringing it to them. And you know why? Because the catapult gets the job done. That's why.
There's no arguing that
it gets the goddamn job done.
There's no arguing historically that the catapult doesn't get the job done. In the field, it does, but. I don't
Obviously,
know.
If your colleague had been here, he'd have given us the history lesson on the mech, wouldn't he? The background.
Oh, most likely. Eddie is very much in depth, knowledge-wise, about things like the catapult and the archer.
Well, this is a very, very successful mech. Very popular, isn't it, in the different houses and the inner sphere? They all love this mech. This is one of the designs they all go mad for.
Yeah, the Capellans are particularly fond of them. The Curetans have a fair number of them. They even have their own model, the K2.
Well, there you go!
Yeah, numerous mercenary units will employ it. It's a good fire support platform. It's
working out very good for me.
Yes, it is.
I've had several
working
kills.
Remarkably well for you.
Several kills. 4, maybe.
Possibly. I was out of the room, just having a conversation in the corridor.
Did any of the other mechs get 4 kills?
In this episode, no.
No. How about in the previous episodes? How many of them got 4 kills?
None. Let's bring up my orange here. Let's see. 2. Yeah, it sounds like paper when you switch the switch.
That's a cool sound effect.
It's a nice effect.
It's a lovely effect.
One of them got 3.
One of them got 3.
Yes, so I think that's the best.
Well, the fans would know. They usually know all of the statistics.
Yes.
Statistics.
Yes, the fans are very, very. The fans is what I'm actually going to be interested in. What their views and comments
I think they're going to be very pleased with how. Look at this! Oh my goodness! Bits of it just shearing off of the power of the catapult, going 1-on-1 here against its. You could say its opposite number here. Look at this. This is the
Mad Dog.
No, the Mad Dog. Yes, and he's getting catapulted into the stratosphere.
He is having a tough time.
He's having a tough time here. Oh, look at that! I hit him again.
Oh, he's got support. There's a flea.
Yes, he was antagonising me a little, but watch what I do. Watch what I do here.
Yeah,
this is masterful. So I had to back away a little. I was thinking, no, I will take these down with my medium lasers.
Right,
watch this.
His leg's gone.
His leg's gone, and
there's.
Oh, there you go. Shot. There's that kill.
That's the win.
There's that 4th kill, everybody.
Oh, well, the boffins are punching up the number. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I think I did quite well under the circumstances, but you know, the mech really
damage 975.
That's not bad.
Match score 618.
Yes,
4 kills and a win. 100 points. And as we go over to the standings, ladies and gentlemen, that currently puts the catapult with 108 points.
I'm on the top, everybody. The catapult and me.
The next mech closest to it is the Hellbringer with 42.
I should have done an intro. They call him. Some people say he's amazing and he's incredibly handsome. I just know him as me, Precentor Aldern. That's what I should have done. See what I did there?
Well, here we go with the
my own intro.
What's this? Oh no! Somebody's decided to turn up in an agri-mech to try and get involved.
Oh, what an idiot! An aggro-mech? Well, that's not a real mech.
Well, it certainly causes aggro, and there it goes. Good, because now the real grand melee can start. The foregone conclusion that it is, however, is I'm not quite sure that even with a victory, the catapult can be knocked off the top spot.
That's a stylish catapult that gentleman is piloting there.
Did you even get involved in this as well? Were you in the grand melee?
I'm just saying that was a similar paint scheme to the one that I have also. Did you notice?
It's just, if you were there, this is actual life and limb. We have to find different pilots every time, because most of them, if not all of them, die in these
I wouldn't involve myself in that kind of capacity. That is a beautiful mech, though, isn't it?
The pointy nose on the front.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's different.
It's a older variant, you know.
Right.
Very rare these days.
Oh, right.
Very rare.
Aesthetically different, I assume.
Yes.
The actual gubbins inside.
Well, yes, I suppose.
Right, okay.
I mean, in most cases, yes.
Well, it's definitely a bit of a slobber knocker here at the moment. These heavies going at each other. Oh,
look at that!
That's a kill.
Yes, it certainly is. Who went out first?
Well, first to die was the linebacker, which is definitely going to change the lineup there for points wise. And yes, that definitely pushes the linebacker down.
Who killed him? Was it the rifleman? It looked like a rifleman.
Yes, it was, as far as I could tell. So the fight rages on now. We've got the...
Wow, look at them go.
At the pack sort of thinning out. The missiles you'll see there,
Whoa!
That's the catapult
Yes!
launching its twin LRM-15s. Without the ability to lock, of course, because to make it just a teensy bit more difficult, we aim for a bit more skill from our Solaris pilots. We only allow them to dumbfire their LRMs at each other.
Wow.
There goes another one, another death there on the field. The Jägermech still standing strong.
Yes, it's doing very good.
As it's moving
so
in
is
now.
The catapult.
The catapult is still there,
Majestic, isn't it?
It's a nice mech, Aldern. I don't know if something about this might have been slightly sullied.
Nothing's sullied, everything's fair.
Well, I don't know.
That mech is using the exact same equipment
It's just
as its standard variant. And it's fighting very well.
I guess this is really just a fight for second place.
I mean, most of these are just no-mark mech pilots, aren't they? Absolute scum of the earth, isn't that right?
Well, I wouldn't...
Absolute filth.
I wouldn't go
the scummest of the scum. I mean, they're literally fighting for food and the chance to get their name recognised on some on a
what?
On a very big visual entertainment program.
Right. Yes. I thought that's what.
In a hope that this will build some kind of career for these wayward losers.
Bit of a double team action going on here as
Whereas
the Hellbringer is down.
Whereas the pilot in that beautiful mech.
Oh, this is it, Aldern. This is it. The Jägermech versus the catapult. It's down to the final two.
Yes, he's going to get him. Come on. He's better get him. He's paid a lot of money.
What? Sorry, paid a lot of money.
Yes, a mech like that costs a lot of money, is what I'm saying. Right. Oh my goodness! Did you see that?
He's not going to.
He's
done it. The catapult has won.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
There's the Mr. Biggs tear into him.
Oh, look, he's firing back at the Mr. Biggs. Yes, get them. Kick them. Yes.
Oh, he's down. There we go. And that ends that grand melee, folks. Well, it's a foregone conclusion, really. 123 points for the catapult.
It's at the top again.
The Hellbringer
score ever.
The Hellbringer in second with 42. The Jägermech in third with 41. The linebacker with 37. The Thunderbolt with 34. Excuse me, Aldern.
Defending!
The Ebon Jagger with 30.
Best in class!
And the Rifleman 2C with 17.
Catapult! Catapult.
And with that suspicious bombshell, I'll say goodnight. Thank you very much, Precentor Aldern, for joining me in place of Eddie the Ferret Hodge.
I was very glad to be invited, and I've enjoyed myself very much.
And we'll see you next time with the return of Eddie for the 70-tonners. Thank you all.
Bye, everybody. Have
Goodbye.
a good time, and don't forget to tip your local Comstar representative. You know it makes sense.
And that's another BIC done. It was the bros' idea to have Aldern on his account winning the match. He's destroyed the sanctity.
I've done nothing at the time.
It
was a perfectly reasonable fight, as you well know.
It was me.
You're just not happy that it did so well.
Which is why it was unfortunately way too easy for me to score nearly 1,000 points of damage and 4 kills.
This was agreed. It would be Aldern's
match. I also didn't know about the gaff earlier on. That's why I was laughing. I wasn't aware that it was supposed to be time traveling this episode, so that was funny.
It's supposed to be set. Yeah,
he
last
says
year.
that. But anyway, thank you
knew
everybody.
This at the beginning.
Thank you everybody. I didn't know this at the beginning.
Yes, you did. That's why you were saying congratulations on recently getting your presentership award.
No, I was just talking about.
No.
I was playing the heel. I was playing the heel McCracken. That's what I was doing.
Fucked it up.
Anyway, thank you everybody for helping out.
He was
obviously.
laughing a lot.
I was laughing a lot. You probably heard that. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you everybody who helped out with
Thanks,
the recording.
everyone.
As always, the roughneck shall die 1,000 deaths as it deserves.
Yeah.
And well, have a good one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.